Hey everybody, today is a little bit different of a video. I'm over here at my buddy Matt Smith's shop, Performance Fab in Roebuck. Kind of tucked down that front end. Anyway, I figured I would show y'all we're doing a little bit of prep for sick week. So we got to tow a trailer, and car's got a very little bit of clearance in the wheel tub with the 28s that are on it, the 28 10.5 Pro bracket radials, and these are 29 and a quarter tall. So we were having a little bit of issue rubbing right here, so right up in here in the wheel tub. So this is the part of the factory wheel tub in the car that had to stay because it's a convertible, and then the carbon tub ties into it, you know, right around here. So where it was rubbing was on the factory tub. So Matt came up with a pretty good idea. Just like you would do on a truck, you put airbags on it. So we decided to put airbags on the Mustang, and Matt found these. I believe they're from X2 Industries. If anybody's really interested, I guess I could find a link to them. I ordered them. They were reasonably priced, I think like 120, 130 bucks a piece. And the idea was, my car extends a lot, you know, it separates a lot. So we can only attach this up here on the chassis. We don't want to attach it on the rear end housing, because if we do, when the car goes to separate, it's going to snag it and it'll stop it from separating. And that's no good. And I didn't want to deal with having to unbolt it in between driving on the street and racing the car. So Matt whipped up these brackets, and I'll show you. We got one up in here so far. So we got a light. There we go. So there it is. So we used a through bolt through the frame rail. Kind of hard to see. There it is. And then there's our air fitting. So we're actually, it's kind of like half over the, there we go, sorry. There we go. So you can see half of the bag is in the wheel tub and the other half of the bag is underneath of the frame rail. The rear end, as you can see, it's a Fab 9, and it's got a large flat area for it to land on. So this is the suspension at full droop, and that's how much my car moves going down the racetrack. There's that much suspension movement, so we certainly didn't want to attach this to the rear end housing. So after speaking with this X2 Industries company, they said we shouldn't have an issue. Just let it free float, and then you know, remove the air. So when the car is at ride height, the rear end housing is going to like just be sitting on the bottom of this, but there won't be any pressure on it, so it shouldn't affect the way the car races. So we're gonna bolt up the other side, plumb some airline to it, and then put some air to it and see what it does. So hang tight, we'll be right back. All right, so we got that one on, and we come around here, and we got this one on. So to clear the wheels, I just temporarily mocked up some push lock airline and just checked for leaks. Bags grow quite a bit. I think about 2.5 inches. So we just got to drill one hole in the rear bumper for the 7-way plug. Let's go on the back, and then I'm going to throw the wheels on it, and we'll start putting air to it and see how well it actually works. So I just wanted to show y'all that it's tucked up in there pretty nicely. Again, this is about 5 inches. So if my fiance is watching, this is about 14 inches. No, it's about 5 inches of clearance here at full droop. So we should be just barely sitting on the bag when we're at ride height. So I'm gonna finish up a few things here, and then we'll set it on the ground and see what it does. Before I put it on the ground, I wanted to show you, this is why we sunk it on the outside of the frame rail. So this rim is a 15 by 10 with 4 inches of back spacing, and then the rim that I used to race the car on with the 28s is a 15 by 12 with 3 inches of back spacing. So you can see we've got my whole hand clears there, no problem. So this worked out pretty well. So again, my whole hand fits up in there. So anyway, I figured I'd show you that before I put it on the ground. All right, so we're down back at ride height. It's got no air pressure in it right now. So it's sitting at like 24 and a 3/4, which is the typical fender height for this car. So Matt's laying up underneath the car. He's gonna hit it with, I think we tested this at like 50 or 60 pounds of air. So go ahead and hit it. What do we got there? Okay, that's 80 pounds of air, and we got about 1.25 inches of movement. So you can now fit your whole damn fist up in there. There's a whole bunch of room in there. So it also makes the car unbelievably stiff in the back. So I think we're going to be good to go with this for towing, and then he's going to let the air out of it real quick. And it's kind of like poor man hydraulics. It's really what we got going on here. So, and the switches aren't necessarily for the bitches, but here we are. So overall, pretty sure this was a glaring success. So let me know what y'all think. See ya.